Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very auspicious occasion actually, as one of the issues that we need to deal with in Fiji, and that is to ensure that we are able to capitalize on our hub status in Fiji within the Pacific. Number two, of course, is to be able to provide facilities and amenities in Fiji where we actually can have a natural advantage over other countries too. Thirdly, is to be able to ensure that we have a lot of value adding in Fiji. Overall economic philosophy is that today, until this facility is built, all our pilots every 6 months, where they need to have their mandatory training, they all have to go off to Singapore and various other places. When they go off there, we actually have to pay money, we stay in their hotels, it costs us a lot of money. There's a loss of foreign exchange. But if we are able to have our own people being trained in Fiji, that foreign exchange is saved. Of course, it also means that when we have other countries sending their people to Fiji, it increases our revenue. They stay at our hotels, they use our taxis, they eat our food, they pay the VAT. Then again, that creates the economic growth. It also provides for economic employment opportunities. As Andre said, that we can not just train Fijian pilots, but also those people who provide services to this particular facility. It's a $30–40 million facility. Apart from the initial investment of the actual construction of the facility, there'll be people who provide support services. So it creates an overall solution to the aviation industry in Fiji. And as also Andre highlighted, we can also then train our flight attendants. We have other forms of training that currently aren't available in Fiji. So we have been very pleased with this. As you know, that government has always been looking for various opportunities. We did discuss with Fiji Airways about a year ago. We did make a budgetary allocation of $1 million, and this is an investment we think that will go an extremely long way. We have invested the $1 million, and Fiji Airways, of course, has utilized those funds in terms of the various initial consultancies, etc. But that's given that seed funding. Now, that seed funding obviously will open an opportunity of about a $30–40 million US investment. So we're very pleased with this. I'd like to thank Andre actually, in particular, for his energy and his ability to be able to talk to various stakeholders, and not just in Fiji, but in particular internationally, to get such partners. So we'd like to thank you for this. We of course look forward to a very fruitful relationship with you, but a long-lasting relationship. And we hope that companies like yours actually become our brand ambassadors, because there's a lot of wonderful things happening in Fiji. We're liberalizing our economy, but also at the same time, we've put in place a number of measures, indeed ratifying international conventions, where we are saying to the world that we actually abide by international standards. And by doing so, we are able to attract local investment in Fiji. So I think this is wonderful news. I'd like to thank the Fiji Airways team for this. And we look forward to this facility being built very soon. And it of course then enhances the hub status of Nadi too, as the gateway to Fiji. But to have pilots who may come from overseas to come and use the facilities, be only a few minutes away from the airport, and to be able to use the wonderful accommodation that's available from the tourism sector is opening up further opportunities for us. So thank you very much.
Today I'm extremely honored to announce one of the most important developments in Fiji Airways and in Fiji, the country's aviation history. The Honourable Minister last year announced that Fiji Airways is setting up a world-class aviation training academy. This project is split into several phases. The first is what we call our simulator centre, where we will have 2 full flight simulators. The second phase is an ab-initio cadet training school, and the third phase, our cabin crew training facility. I'm pleased today to tell you how we're progressing with this project. This morning, we are announcing the choice of Canadian simulator manufacturer CAE as our partner for the Academy, and confirm the acquisition of a CAE Boeing 737 MAX full flight simulator. We will shortly follow with the announcement and confirmation of a CAE wide-body simulator in due course. Both simulators are planned to be installed during 2018. CAE is a renowned aviation training institution. It has more than 230 full-flight simulators in 50 training facilities around the world, In many of these facilities, CAE is a joint venture partner and in some cases owners. It has also supplied more than 1,000 full-flight simulators to more than 130 airlines and the aircraft manufacturers. We're very happy this morning to welcome Mr. Hassan Mohammed, CAE's Director of Sales, and we thank you, Hassan, for joining us today. You may ask a question, why is this simulator center and these facilities so very important for Fiji Airways and for Fiji? Let me start with Fiji Airways. We currently spend many millions of dollars every year sending our pilots all around the world for their 6 monthly mandatory simulator training. This comes at a very high cost to the airline and also creates a lot of inefficiency. Obviously, it would be much better if we could spend those millions of dollars in Fiji and boost the local economy. Not only will the setup of this simulator center benefit us from improved efficiencies and cost savings, but most importantly, it will enable Fiji Airways to accelerate the development of Fijian captains with command quality standards that we require in the airline. This will also, over time, reduce our reliance on expatriate pilots. For country Fiji, having a world-class credible aviation academy, which will not only train young Fijian pilots, but also those from around the region, is an enormous positive development. This will establish country Fiji as the regional aviation training hub. The next step in our development after the simulators, so as you've seen, I've announced CAE is the first of the simulators that we are ordering, and there's another one to follow. The next step will be the implementation of phase 2, which is the ab-initio cadet pilot training school. This will be done shortly, and it will be done with what we call fixed training devices, and we already have one, the Airbus 330 fixed training device. With regard to the building of the simulator center and the facility, we will definitely harness the very latest construction and green energy design to provide a very fresh and comfortable learning experience. The following are the approximate costs of this very important, if I can call it, landmark and changing phase in Fiji Airways history. The simulator center with the 2 simulators will cost in the order of US dollars 30 million. And the full facility, once it's completed, around 45 million US dollars. So ladies and gentlemen, this is an important, if I can call it, turning point in Fiji Airways history. We will soon be able to develop and create our own stream of highly qualified Fijian captains, which we so desperately need in the airline, and pilots. So without further ado, I'd like to say Vinaka and hand over to Mr. Hassan Mohammed.
First of all, I would like to say a special thank you from our CEO, Mr. Mark Param, our Group President, Mr. Nick Leontides, and our VP of Sales, Mr. Dean Fisher. It is with great pleasure that we welcome Fiji Airlines into the CAE family. I would like to say one thing. I know that I would like to remind people, you're not only buying 2 simulators from CAE, you're buying 70 years of experience from CAE. And we are very, very happy to be your partner and supplier of choice for the flight simulators that will be in your training center. I recall that this request came in approximately a year ago when you guys met in Cancun in Dublin. And it took a lot of work for us to get to this point, but we're very, very pleased with the outcome. As I said, we welcome you into the family, and we can assure you we will be there with you every step of the way. From the construction of the building, to the arrival of the simulators, to the certification of the simulators, to the recurrent qualification, and everything that is required to make this a successful operation. Thank you very much.